All right, class is in session. All right, I want to make quick videos so I can help people in relationships, especially men, because this is a man here. And he is Kevin West. I've done some other videos on him, and he was convicted of the murder of his wife by strangulation. They had a very loveless, sexless marriage for a long time. I think, again, not trying to put shade on anybody, but this is in the public record that they were both very apathetic to each other. Sexless marriages, both people need to get out, especially men. Women have sex with men they like and desire. If they're not having sex with you, they've lost the desire. Get out. And they've lost respect. They have sex with men they respect too. So also, sleeping in separate bedrooms, those are big key things. You can't be doing that. And I'm guilty as charged, but I had to deep dive on that kind of thing, and I'll never do that again. You can't do that. It is just if you're at that stage, you might as well get out. And don't ever be afraid to get out. Don't ever be afraid to lose everything and start over. Because look at here. I think, he stayed in pain, stayed in this loveless, sexless marriage, and that kills your soul. Nothing, you can lose everything. Everything can burn. Your money, everything. But, you can't lose your soul like this in these loveless, sexless marriages. All right, so I just want to go over some key points in his testimony and show where men can probably make changes and where he could have made changes and found an off-ramp, or there were, just anywhere where, I think I could see improvement. So not, obviously for him, but, if someone's going through something similar, I can help them. Because I think I could have helped him if I would have been able to get to him. Maybe he saw one of my videos. And that's all I'm doing this for, is to help people. So let's go ahead and watch this and see if we can teach some people something.
Okay, but was
Just
she
my opinions.
the same reason you were?
I can't remember if she was on standby or if she just walked up to somebody that was a firefighter that she knew. I don't,
He's talking about a chick he had an affair with 2 years after he got married.
To supervise her?
not in the slightest. Two different departments.
So
And so the relationship became more, how long did it last?
We've discussed.
So I covered another video with her named Cynthia Ward. He had an affair with her like 2 years into his marriage. He was married 20 years. And so that's what he's talking about the first time they hooked up. And now he's just talking about her. So that's just give you a context.
I just can't remember. I think maybe 4 months, 5 months maybe. At that.
So 4 or 5 month quick sexual affair. And that's it's over. Okay?
And did it become physical?
It did, yes.
And 4 or 5 months, what happened after that?
We went our separate ways. She went through a divorce, and Marcy and I had our daughter Megan.
Did you stay in touch with Cynthia over the years?
No, I did not.
So after she left, it was just cold trail, and that's it?
I only knew her married name. I didn't know her maiden name. I knew she dated, oddly, someone else with the last name of West. I did not know her maiden name, so I did search for a lot of years, but I never found her.
Yeah, it's a scarcity mindset, not knowing your value, stuck it. And this will happen when you lose your soul. And just my opinion, I've been there. No longer will ever be there. But when you lose yourself, when you're in this much pain, you don't realize your value. I didn't realize my value till I, got out of a 8-year relationship I was in that was killing my soul, So that's how I know what he's going through. But once you get out, I just, became single and got out there and started learning things, started learning about myself and, had a blast, and so until you see a new paradigm, you don't think it's possible. But this guy's searching an old girl, there's more than 2 girls in the world. I think that's scarcity mindset. There's 4 billion people in the world, is it? There's a lot of girls out there for you.
And,
Never, because I finally did.
and so she leaves, and you and Marcy continue there.
Yes.
And was there a time when the marriage became turbulent and you separated?
Yes, in 2015.
What was the cause of that?
The cause was both intimacy and
No sex. So, and that's his fault. You You can't let it get there, right? That kills a man's soul. I don't, I'm just going to speak for men. And because that, men and being able to access sex and being able to have sex with women, I mean, players are respected, and if you're an incel type, guy in a marriage, it kills your soul. It's, men lose respect, or they feel like they're nothing, again, women can have their own, but so, his wife that is, even though she lost the desire, I mean, they both got to get out. You can't do this, guys. You can't do this.
Balancing what Marcy was spending.
And money.
Not that we were having financial troubles as if we didn't have enough money to live, but that we could have more if we were more responsible. And so that was what I was moving forward with. That's what my concerns were that weren't being.
Okay, but guys, as a leader, he needs to call it. I mean, if she's not going to, and this is a learning moment, if she's not going to abide by a budget, then she's out. I mean, I'm sorry. You got to be willing to blow it all up. They say stay married for the kids. And while she, runs up a debt and it kills your soul, doesn't have sex with you. And again, he's covered it before. She wasn't working out. She wasn't in good health, and she was more concerned about the daughter, focusing more on the daughter. And a lot of times that's because she's going through pain. And so she's finding pleasure through the daughter, but that's not okay to do to your marriage. That's not okay to do to your husband. I say that to guys if they're having their wives do that. And you can't change this usually through counseling. I mean, you can try, but the only thing you can do, the only leverage you have in these marriages is your time and attention and your word. This is how it's going to be. This is how it's going to go. This is how, and if they don't want to listen, what can you got to get out. I hate to make it that simple, but if she's not, if your wife's not going to listen to you, then you're done. You're done. If she's not your teammate, she's not participating, she's not having sex with you, 4 to 5 times a week is minimum. That's minimum to show her desire. She should want to. Guys, you can't live in these. We can't normalize this.
So things just kind of bubbled up and separated.
That's right.
Where'd you go?
I took my trailer to a firefighter's house that I worked with, and I stayed there for a period I can best estimate to be 2 to 3 weeks, probably. 3 weeks would be close.
So during the separation, did you continue to communicate with Marcy?
Oh, absolutely. The night I left, I sat Marcy, Ted, and Megan down on the couch, and I told them the reasons I was leaving, why I was choosing to leave, that I would be active in their lives, they would be able to get a hold of me, I would not be absent, and I made a point to follow through with that all the way through those days.
And I'm sorry, the separation lasted about how long?
Roughly 3 weeks.
Okay. And then how did you reconcile?
So I came home and we had a real, what you'd call a heart-to-heart. We chose to put things aside and go to the coast and discuss those things at the coast. What we discussed was that I wanted her to spend, the costs involved with my daughter's dance were quite extensive, and so there's choreography fees, there's costumes, there's driving both there and back, and studio fees, travel. It's very expensive, and so when you add 1, 2, and then maybe 3 solos for recitals, and then you have 3 teams, and then so each team that you take to a recital throughout the year, each recital costs money. So if we reduce the number of dances she was in by 1 here or 1 there, just find a little bit of balance with all I was asking for, to be able to save a little bit more money. We're moving into college time. We were just trying to prepare.
Okay. So you kind of came to an agreement on how to move forward?
We did.
How are things after that?
There was a big turnaround. She was very present in my life. She was, we never did reduce the number of dances that Megan was in. Those choices would happen after the spring recital. And then it'd be like July, and you would try out. You have tryouts, and of course she was talented. She could make just about any team.
You learned how to get along better for a while?
So I understand he's testifying his own defense. He's lying. I think he's lying about the whole thing. It's fine. I get it, but I mean that seemed like BS as far as. So what I heard was she's spending too much money, spending too much time on with the daughter. But again, as a man has to be a leader, and your woman has to follow. If that's not happening, then if you haven't gotten married yet, don't get married because this has to happen. Because he's like, she's spending too much money. Well, you do the budget and you tell her. I mean, I know it sounds simple, but it is. No more money. We're not spending money on this. Here's the budget, and you don't have to be mad about it. Your confidence is calm. We're not spending money on her today. We're only going to spend this much money, okay? Done deal. If y'all don't like it, y'all can kick rocks. I mean, you have to be willing to, burn it all down. And I'm not saying be rude, but if people aren't going to cooperate, there's no compromise. There is no compromise. There are killing. I mean, we know if you're a moral person with integrity that has a good moral compass, you make good decisions, which he seems like he has, then, dude, I'm going to be, kind, I'm going to be loving, but I'm going to draw the line, and we're not going over this. And he said intimacy, more present. That probably didn't increase at all either. So you can't blame the guy. I mean, again, I know he's unhappy, and I don't condone, abusing or, doing what he did to his wife, but it's tragic because I can't also condone, and again, I don't want to speak ill of the dead, but if you're not going to be in shape, if you're not going to give your husband intimacy, if you're going to spend too much money, if you're going to focus too much time, both people, she's an adult and he's an adult. She has to know she's not taking care of his needs. Now, again, I understand when women don't desire to take care of your needs, they won't. So I understand how, that can be a thing, but, you gotta, as a man, it's unacceptable.
Absolutely did. It went on for a while, but then it just went back to the way it was.
You allowed it to go back the way it was.
You're having firefighters functions like, I don't know, banquets or parties or anything like that.
We did.
And did you go to those?
I did.
Did Marcia go?
She only went to one.
Out of how many years?
My whole career.
Whether he's telling the truth, I don't, let's just assume for argument's sake.
I wanted.
Let's assume for argument's sake he's telling the truth. Over a 28-year career, she went to one firefighter function, and he wanted her there. And he does seem like a pretty social guy because his new gal that he's having an affair with, she was pretty social, and men want that. You want your girl with you when you love them. And if this is actually true, this is a deal breaker, guys. It's a deal breaker, and your woman should want to be around you. This is unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. This is disrespect, and I'm just saying, and I don't want to go in on her or anybody. It's not about morality, who's good, who's bad. You got to recognize this is disrespect, guys. This is no love. If you and I'm just explaining to men, that's why this is a after action. If you're seeing something like this, if this is you, and she's not going to functions and making excuses and no intimacy and spending, these are clear signs you are not loved, you are not respected, and you must get out. Give counseling a shot. It doesn't seem to be effective. Let's go on.
So, when you separated in 2015, was there talk about divorce?
Yes.
And so that was kind of on the table at that time?
And I did see an attorney at that time for a consult only.
How about in the years following that? Did you two have arguments often, or once in a while?
Yeah, it was just always good and then frustrating. Good and frustrating.
Did you?
Well, you're probably sweeping stuff under the rug. We've all been there, and you can't do that. You can't live like this. It's either good or it's bad. You can't. I've been there, but you can't do this. It killed me when I was in one of these. He went for a consult, and this is the thing. A lot of times people get, they had this they were living in a McMansion. He had a big old truck. These firefighter guys. I was a policeman. I worked with firefighter guys. Are awesome. But you can't worry about your lifestyle. You got to be willing to burn it all down to protect your respect for yourself and the love for yourself. because living in this pain, you can tell he's living in pain. And look at him now. All the holes of Swiss cheese aligned. I think he snapped one night, got totally upset. This is a hero of the community that never had a blemish on his record. And I think all the holes of Swiss cheese aligned, and he made a huge tragic mistake. And if he would go back to these moments in his life, I mean, you can't, I mean, you know, we can all be so functional in certain areas of our life, but so dysfunctional in others.
Did you fight in front of the kids?
I made a point.
She did too.
She did too. That we wanted to keep it always separate. We never wanted to involve them in our arguments.
Yeah, but that's and kids. I mean, dude, you know, I mean, we hear this all the time. Let's go forward, see if we got anything else.
For her off and on over the years?
I did.
And what did that?
Well, I mean, I was searching on social media sites.
Once again,
Facebook,
scarcity mindset. Searching for his affair partner.
I never did find her, but I just entered Cynthia W. And I didn't know if she was in there, and of course her last name's Ward. I found her that way.
And so you found her. What did you do?
I was shocked. I couldn't believe I had found her, and I sent her a message to see if it's her. I had a strong feeling it was.
Turned out to be her.
Yeah, it's been a lot of years.
And then did you two start communicating after that?
We did.
How long did that go on before you met?
No, we did. We texted through Messenger for a short period. We transitioned to WhatsApp, and we didn't really make a phone call we made a phone call probably within that first week. We spoke until August. She was telling me she wouldn't be able to see me till October, but we actually first saw each other late August into early September somewhere.
Why did you use WhatsApp?
It was just an application that we could text on that I could hide from Marcy.
Yeah.
And she could hide from her ex.
Okay, I mean, listen to this. And he falls madly in love with this lady who's, and I don't want to be rude. She's just a normal chick. I mean, you know, he doesn't know its value. Anyway, I don't want to be rude to the lady. But again, you know, she's in a relationship, says she can't see him until October, but she sees him the first time they meet. They go to a hotel. I mean, he's in a marriage. He hasn't, you know, even tried to get out of this. I mean, this is, and I know this might sound bad, but an affair that starts through lust, as opposed to an affair that starts through pain and neediness. That's what he's going through. And scarcity. You know, I mean, he's getting, you know, a hint of, you know, affection. I mean, dude, that for a man who hasn't had it in 20 years or whatever, however amount of time he hasn't had it, trust me, I've been there, and it feels just like cocaine, I guess. I mean, I don't know how it feels, but, you know, it feels like a drug, you know, is all I can say. You know, caffeine.
Now, did Marcy ever complain to you about any health conditions or any pains that she had?
She did.
What was it?
So she complained of headache type pain frequently. This was a normal complaint. She complained of chest pain also. It was not very cardiac specific. We're always taught, you know, women present differently with chest pain. I never wanted to take it for granted that I knew everything. I don't have any equipment with me when I'm at home. She would complain. I'd ask her some questions, you know. Nor
did he care too much. I mean, they were so apathetic. I mean, he's going to go into this. He didn't care much about her health. You know, but just in the last one, I mean, look at those. This is the bad decisions. I mean, you know, and this is a respected fireman who's, you know, going to date a chick that he dated years ago, who's got a boyfriend. I mean, and he falls madly in love, this obsessive love. You know, I went over some of the text messages and stuff like that, but yeah, and then also she doesn't worry about her health at all. You know, doesn't, you know, her kids. He said she ate a lot of processed food, drank a lot of sodas. I mean, men want a fit, healthy woman, and if he's fit and healthy, he deserves a fit and healthy woman, and that was, again, but if she's not doing it, you gotta express your urge for her to do it, and, if she doesn't, then again, all you got's your time and attention, but you deserve that. Every man deserves that, because it's also a sign of disrespect if they don't want to stay healthy for you, But that's about, all I wanted to cover today. Just a short one. Lack leadership on those financial things, bad choices here, and, scarcity mindset, going back to an old affair partner before he's even gotten, divorced and made any plans. That just mucks everything up, and my dad used to tell me, my dad's a brilliant man, and he used to tell me, one time I got into an accident, and he said, how many close calls did you have before you got in that one? Because I was like, the car just stopped, and I, rear-ended it. And my dad said, did you have any close calls before that? And you start thinking, maybe I was driving bad, whatever. Or, one time I was working, going to school, playing soccer, and my dad said, you start, splitting your attention in too many directions like he is. An affair, a wife, kids, work. You can't focus. And my dad said you only have X amount of energy, and at that point I was in high school and he made me quit my job. But again, he had a point though. You can't divert your attention in too many ways, right? Intensity beats extensity every time. That's a law of power. Concentrate your forces, law of power. See, I always go back to a law of power. But yeah, and be a leader. If she's spending too much money, if you don't have intimacy, those are deal breakers. Straight up deal breakers. Intimacy for sure. You can't live in a sexless marriage. And like I said in the title here, no matter how far down the wrong road you've gone, I know a lot of people stuck in sexless marriages, loveless marriages, they think there's no way out. All I see is a black hole. There's always a way out. No, you've never gone too far. You've never gone too far. But you can lose your kids, you can lose your money, but you can't lose yourself, because no one's good if you lose yourself. All right, we'll see you on the next one. Be safe out there.